So I don't want to discount how he felt or how that affected him. I don't want to do that. I don't want to minimize, I don't want to diminish how he felt or minimize that moment. But okay, so listen, Orion and Lauren needed their own little segment. I couldn't fit them in with my episode 8 review. So here it is, all by itself. I am your girl, Talisa Ray. What's up? How you doing, Ray of Sunshines? We're just gonna move into it because I had cut it off. I cut it because I was like, this is 20 minutes that I'm talking about them by themselves, okay? Like, they need a whole video by themselves is how I felt. Because that would have been like a 40-minute video. Y'all probably would have been here for it. But nevertheless, this is about Orion and Lauren. I really hate that this is the first time that I'm talking about Lauren and Orion because there was so much. And if they were to continue, I would have been able to just like throw little things in from what we saw in the honeymoon. But I don't have that ability. I have to do what I can right now. And listen, if there's something that you want to talk about, just ask me, because this episode picks up with them talking to Pastor Cal in the hotel before we leave from Cancun. And in this instance, he's saying that I can't see me moving forward with her. He's saying he hasn't forgiven her for the derogatory remark she made about the Navajo people or indigenous people. Now, I'm gonna just, since I ain't talked about it, I'm gonna just say it like I can. In the hot tub, y'all remember? Because he was like, have you ever said redneck? Or have you ever said redneck? And she was like, no, I haven't. And then she looked at him and his skin was red, or red skin. Because redneck is not him. Okay, redneck is somebody else. That's a derogatory term for someone else. But if she had ever said red skin, and she was like, no, I've never. I didn't even know that was a thing. And then she looked at him and saw that his skin was red. And she was like, oh, I get it now. She didn't even call him the name. She didn't even pull that out of him. But he had just before said that he had said N-I-G-G-A or even N-I-G-G-E-R before. Hard E-R before. I don't know which one, but whichever one it was, she could have stuck to that too. Like, well, you said this and I'm offended that you would even want to say such a thing, you know. But she gave him grace like she has done the entire time and let it slide. He said something about her not having his back. I don't know you yet. I don't really know what makes you tick, what upsets you. I didn't even know that this was a thing. That whole ride in the Sprinter, that I didn't even know that you know, the off the reservation. Yeah. That was a white man. And there was an instance where she said, I feel disrespected and devalued because you're going harder on me than you are a white man, and I am a black woman. And unfortunately, as black women, my God, we have to go through and endure so much, and people don't recognize that. And we're at one point, I thought Orion might have had some emotional maturity to him. That had gone out the window. That had gone out the window. And honestly, I don't even know if he really ever liked her. You know, I feel like maybe it was like they pretended. You know what I mean? Like, I was gonna say something. Let me just say it. If you know, like I know, indigenous people also had enslaved black folks. I'm just gonna say that, okay? And I'm gonna leave that there. I know a lot of people, when they be like, I got Indian in my family, why do you think that some of that is so? Okay, it's not always that was the case, but a lot of times it was. I'm gonna just sit that there. And I'm wondering how much prejudice from his own lineage is held up in his belief. Like, does he even like black women? He probably wasn't even strong enough for her. I think my feelings are hurt. I think my feelings are hurt like she's my sister. Because she is my sister. My feelings are hurt more than anything else, okay? But that's just a fact. You can look it up. Find it on Google. My feelings are hurt. Then on top of that, when she said that she had sex 2 months ago, that was really it. Because he had forgiven her. Y'all can't tell me that that man didn't forgive her for that small indiscretion. Okay, it may not have been small to us as a black person, but not small to him. Because had he said something about that, like her nappy hair or something, we probably would have all been on him. So I don't want to discount how he felt or how that affected him. I don't want to do that. I don't want to minimize. I don't want to diminish how he felt or minimize that moment. But I am going to say that he moved the entire FUCK on, okay? He was back to cuddling and stuff the next day with her and all of those things. So he's trying to tell us this entire time that it was in the back of his mind and reserved. I don't think so. I think what happened was he found out that her little box was hot 2 months ago, that she still had a connection with somebody, because he said, I have been celibate for a year. The moment I was going through this process, I took it seriously. A year? You didn't even know if he was going to get picked or not. Nevertheless, he said he had been celibate for a year and he has to build an emotional connection. She said, me too, as it relates to an emotional connection. So here's the thing. 2 months ago, you were intimate with someone. Was there an emotional connection with the person that you were intimate with? Because you just said that you require an intimate connection. He said sex was off the table. Y'all remember all of that? I remember all of that. Then double back like he does all the time and was like, okay, it's not really that you had sex 2 months ago. It's that you were the second person in my, that had said some discriminatory, hurtful remarks to me. So which is it? Which one is it? Was he just trying to find a way out anyway? I commend Lauren on the way that she handled herself the entire time. He went on and talked about her blow-ups. The ones that were off camera. You can see she's passionate. But I mean, if you hear somebody say, I think I want a divorce, her defense mechanism showed up, just like his. Dr. Pia hit the nail on the head. Her defense mechanism was to get angry and upset and probably curse him out. His is to shut down and be quiet. Neither of them are effective. He wasn't willing to make any adjustments or changes. And I'm just like paraphrasing everything. So let me come back here to this episode, because I feel like I've given you most of how I felt about their interactions. She's given him a lot of grace. She always acknowledges what he says and says, well, that's fair, and then continues on to what she believes, not discounting anything she said. Also, she was very apologetic for the things she said and her behavior. And I get, for me, an apology has to come with corrective action. But he did not give her the opportunity to show that she was working on the corrective action. Furthermore, people who require an apology with corrective action, let the people make a correction. Help the people make a correction. And I digress. Let's talk about 8, because when they get back, he's like, I want a divorce, remember? And then they get on the plane. This dude is a flip-flopper. He tells them, let's do a hard reset. Let's reset and start over with a clean slate, which I believe would have been a great idea. However, I also feel like this man has been flip-flopping all 7-day vacation, honeymoon, and he flip-flopped at least twice during that time. Not clear about what he wants. Shows up very like indifferent, cold, uncaring is how he shows up for me. Is how I see him. If y'all disagree with anything I say, it is great to do so, but do so in love and kindness and with each other down below in the comments. Furthermore, I wrote down, at this point, it's a red flag for me. So they get back, they do a hard reset. Let's take some time. We're going to go in our respective spaces. Let's take some time. Go in their respective spaces. He sends her a text message and says, I want to continue with the process, but I want to get a divorce. What? Oh, you just want to stay for the money. You think I'm going to stay with you for the money? I actually like you. I'm actually excited about where we're headed. I'm actually attracted to you. Like, that is how I felt for Lauren. Like, I thought that she really liked him. And you talking about you want to get a divorce, but pretty much let's play the game. I want to get divorced at the end, but let's just stay for the money. You're in breach of contract. Here's where I wrote, he originally made me think he was emotionally mature, but he is not, because he shuts down. Which is okay if you need time to process your emotions, your feelings, etc. I'm here for it. Say that, which I will give him credit for. But once you do that, come back and really talk things out. He did not. Hold on. Oh, sidebar, I wrote her hair is beautiful. I keep writing every other sentence I see red flag for him. So they meet with Dr. Pia. Now at the after party, we find out from him that was a 4-hour conversation with Dr. Pia, and that he was like, I really couldn't open up with her. Her as in Dr. Pia. I couldn't let my guard down. Well, we saw it. We all saw it. We all saw the brick wall. We all saw it. I mean, if you had 2 eyes, you saw that he was a very stoic figure, honey. Like, nevertheless, I wrote down he's an asshole. See, because my feelings are hurt. Lauren is a sister. Like, I don't know her from Adam, but because she is a sister, my feelings are hurt. Okay. As a content creator, watching on the other side, having been loved, having been deceived in love, having people pretend to love you, having people say they value you, but really do they, because they don't really see you. So how do they value you? Like, having all of that, my feelings are hurt for her. Like, when she cried, I cried. Like, I'm thinking about it now, and I'm all like, how horrible to go through this process with hope and excitement and anticipation and the willingness to work. I think that's what did it for me. Her saying, I can't wait to have a husband that is willing to work through difficult situations with me. Because, you know, I feel like the best relationships come after difficult, uncomfortable, and awkward situations and conversations. You have to have them for growth, because nothing is all roses and rainbows and sunshine. Nothing. There is thunderstorms, hurricanes, tornadoes, tsunamis, but if you are in something, you are willing to work on it. But again, the person really has to be in it with you to want to. Okay, that's a whole ass another YouTube video by itself. Like, but we ain't gonna talk about it. He said that a lot of things cut really deep and that he is heartbroken. So things that cut deep was her inappropriate laughter, because she didn't make the joke. It was her inappropriate laughter, her yelling at him, and her 2 months having sex within the last 2 months. I mean, 2 months prior, right before she found out. This makes people not want to be honest, open, and vulnerable, which is also what you need to have an effective relationship. I don't know. Listen. Commitment, communication, and compromise are 3 big ones when it comes to marriage. And he was not willing to communicate or compromise. I don't even know if he was committed. Okay, let's just keep it a band. Look, I'm talking about 14 minutes of me just talking about them, and we ain't even finished talking about them. I'm almost done. I wrote down that he put all of the indiscretions off on her. Like it was her fault entirely that the relationship failed. And she said, you know, he talking about her reaction, and she said for every action is a reaction. Now I get, she blowed up. She blew up on him twice, and that is a bit much, right? But she was in it, and we know that maybe that's why she is not married yet, right? And this was her opportunity, and we didn't really even hear him wanting to get to know her the way she was with him. It just was a lot of downfall. It just really didn't feel good. Dr. Pia asked him to extend more grace to each other. Asked them to extend more grace to each other. I was like, hell no, she don't need to extend no more grace. He needs to extend all the grace. That woman has extended grace and more grace and more grace. And if a person does not see you, ain't nothing you could do. If a person does not see you, is not willing to see you, there is nothing you can do. Because I saw that she was a good spirit, kind, compassionate heart, really wanting to make it. Like, it makes me sad. But he couldn't look past his own triggers and life experiences to see her, because remember, he said that he had to protect his mother and his sister from his stepfather. He felt like that. He didn't want to do that, right? He didn't want to have to fight with his wife. You're allowing your life experiences to dictate how you see your wife, because that's not who she was. People do that quite often. He did not see her and was not willing to look past his lived experiences. It affected how he viewed her, and he needs to go get healing from that. That is what we all need, is to heal our past traumas, and that is a trauma for him. And so when you go to therapy, okay, because your coach can't help you. Your coach is just for accountability. Like, I can point it out for you as your coach, but I can't help. I can tell you what I've done to navigate some of my traumas and life experiences, but I can't help you per se. Go and get some help and be honest. Don't just talk about the surface shit. Talk about, my feelings were hurt because of this, and that, so that and then they ask you, well, what happened in your life? Like they really get in there. Like, I got a therapist, child. I go every 2 weeks, but I'm just here to tell you that you won't have a healthy, successful relationship if you don't deal with the triggers and traumas from your life experiences in your past. You're going to carry that into every relationship that you have. And unfortunately, you're going to ruin every relationship and not give it a chance because of your own biases, because we have them. I am so rambling because this is a whole thing. Hold on. Okay. I wrote down, he'll be alone forever. Just what I said right now. If you don't work on your life experiences and your biases that you have from your life experiences, you're going to be alone forever. Not everybody has done that thing to you. He went on to say that he lost all romantic interest in her. She asked him, do you just not want to be with me? And he said, I lost all romantic interest in you. In 7 days, you had some, and now it's gone? Sir. Dr. Pia says, this is your way of controlling it, asking for a divorce. She was absolutely right. I'm glad she called him out on it. And I just was like, and yeah. She went on to say, is this your decision day? Orion says yes, and I screamed at the TV, FUCKYOU, so loud so loud, and I know that that's a personal experience that I felt just then, the way I yelled at that screen. When I tell you that I yelled at that screen, I yelled at that screen. Child, it was a mess. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was a mess, child. Whew. Y'all, let me know down below in the comments what you thought about Orion and Lauren. And we did see him on the after party, and he said, he told Keisha what he would have done differently is that he would have moved in. That he might have made a mistake, pretty much is what he said. But he stood by how he felt. Again, contradictory. You stood by how you felt, or would you have moved, you would have moved in? Because if you stood by how you felt, then you wouldn't have moved your ass in. Like, I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this segment that is specifically dedicated to Orion and Lauren. I am your girl, Talisa Ray. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you are new here. Right next to that subscribe button is the notification bell. And give this video a thumbs up because you like me and I will know it's real. Share it with your friends so that, you know, they can come and they can hang out and they can chill and talk with us. And know that I love you in real life and want every good thing that God has in store for you, even if you don't know what that is for yourself. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I will see you on the next review.